What's up, people? I am back for another video. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I had to go to bed early. But today, I'm doing two videos. I'm doing this one, and I promise later tonight I will be doing this one. I will be reviewing The Living Daylights. So the first Timothy Dalton Bond movie, which I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember. I more remember License to Kill. I definitely remember that one more. But thought of that a little later. It's actually going to be a movie I actually probably will like. Because right now, we're not here for positivity. I'm here to roast that absolute piece of shit new Transformers movie. I mean, I'll admit, I'm more of a casual, I was more into Transformers definitely as a kid. And I was definitely more Gen 1, but I did like the Beast Wars, mainly because fucking Megatron was a fucking T-Rex, dude. I mean, come on. You got Megatron as a T-Rex, Optimus Prime is basically a fucking gorilla. Optimus Primal is fucking great. I love it. But then, we never got to see him in the movie. We got I can't even remember his name. Fucking Grindlock? I think I'll admit, I don't remember that movie. Grimlock. That was the most closest we got to a Dinobot in a Transformers movie, and it looked absolutely like shit. But this one, they made it such a big deal, guys. We got Optimus Primal, we got the fucking Maximals, who they did everything wrong. Lore-wise with this movie, they did everything wrong. For one, the Maximals, besides Optimus Primal and maybe Airazor, who was really just there for fucking exposition, she's just there to tell you what's fucking going on. None of the other Maximals really matter. Cheetor doesn't really have a scene that stands out. Neither does Rhinox. None of them do. They're all just fucking there. Pretty much Primals, they only really get story, and even then, I don't feel like it was really that good. And you only see them in, the last half of the movie. You have basically no Decepticons, which makes no fucking sense. If you're gonna have the whole plot be... Because realistically, the Beast, Maximal should not be teaming up with the Autobots. But if you're gonna do that, wouldn't it make sense to have it should be Predacons, not Terracons? I know I'm sounding like a fucking nerd right now, but it's this movie got everything wrong. It should be Predacons, so we can actually see Megatron as a fucking T-Rex. You know how cool that would be? That cool, at least visually, that would look. Nah, let's not do that. We'll do the Terracons, who really, the only Terracon that matters is Scourge. I'm gonna be honest, I think in general, the Transformers, this movie, none of the other Transformers really mattered. Besides the leader of each group, Optimus Prime, I guess, of the Autobots, because I don't really feel I guess Mirage, technically, because he works with the fucking shitty new character, no, which I'm gonna get into in a second. And Scourge of the Terracons. None of the other Terracons matter, they're just there. And then there's one that kind of looks like Starscream, because it transforms into a jet. That's it. They kind of and then then Unicron, who's supposed to be the big bad, isn't really the big bad. He's not. Why is he here? Why is fucking Unicron in this fucking movie? He has no point. You don't even show a scene where he at least is fully transformed. Even the movie is dog shit. At least the visual of a fully transformed Unicron would have been kind of cool. Nah, we're not doing that. They didn't do that. He's pointless. Even his, dialogue that you get a bit it's not like it's intimidating. It's not okay, at least even if he didn't do anything. Even Thanos, when you saw him in Guardians, just the one scene, yeah, he didn't fight. He had an intimidating voice when he spoke. So it was okay, at least we're getting some dialogue. We didn't really get that much dialogue from Unicron, at least not ones that we didn't see in the fucking trailer. I guess we'll get started on the point. So the Unicron wants to, terraform planets, right? We know the story. So they attack the Beast, the Maximals planet. Ape Link, who's the leader, basically before Optimus Primal dies, dies with the planet, so they all can leave. That opening scene wasn't even that cool. It's weird, because they clearly were trying to make it it's a Beast Wars section, and they were probably trying to go for that. If you remember the Cybertron sequence in Bumblebee, which is way better than this. Bumblebee in general is a way better movie than this. And I had problems with that movie, but it's way better than this shit. that opening scene was at least compelling. The opening scene in this was just okay. And Scourge is like the only one who matters. And I'll admit, Scourge was kind of cool in the beginning, but it's like, it's kind of cool because the script says he has to be cool right now. And I'll get to more of that later. Like, so then they get off the planet. Time jump to 1994. And basically, pretty much the movie starts with my fucking problem. We're following this fucking boring character named Noah, who I guess it's like some tech guy who's trying to get a job. Like, they wrote this in a way because, you know, he's not, I don't think he's black, but I think he's like Hispanic, right? They have to write like all the minority characters as like, they all have bad lives. You can't, no, God forbid you write a successful minority. No, you can't do that. We have to always show them everything like shit. Noah's brother, he can't get life insurance. Noah himself, he can't get a fucking job. And not just because he can't get a job because he's shit, which you could actually write. No, they had to write it. There's literally a scene where he goes for an interview and the guy initially says, oh, I'm not going to hire you because I called your other job and they said you were unreliable and couldn't work in a team. That's actually a legitimate reason. No, they had to fuck it up and tweak it. I don't want someone like you. Like, fuck you, movie. Like, God. And I was like, because I didn't see the shit in theaters. So I was like, that was like 30 minutes in the movie. I'm like, nigga, really? You have to write that in the fucking movie? God forbid a brown person can't get a job because they suck. No, it can't be that. It has to be racism. Anyway, then we have Elena, who her life's bad because boss never listens to her ideas. She's a fucking Mary Sue. Not in like the fighting sense like Ray, who's just good at everything. No, she's more a Mary Sue because she literally just figures everything out. She just learned that aliens exist the day before, but then like by the next day she knows how to read like fucking Autobot or, you know, fucking Transformer language. I'll just say that. It's insane to me. Like, the human bullshit was so bad. At least we don't come to these movies to watch humans. It's like they still don't understand that. Like, this has been a problem with the Transformers movies for years. Really, the first one's like the only one that really got it right. Where you still actually had a solid amount of Transformers in it, and you still had human shit. But it's still, you had a solid amount of Transformers shit going on that I could actually call that a Transformers movie. This really wasn't. Until the whole key shows up, which the key is just a fucking MacGuffin. That's all it fucking is. It's just, we gotta get this thing. They don't really explain what the key is. At least the stones in the MCU or the mother box in DC, at least they explain that in those movies, what that is. They don't just say, oh, we're getting this thing and vaguely explain it. No, this one does that. It's just, the key doesn't fucking matter. You kind of get what it can do. So basically the rest of the movie is Noah works with, so he's convinced guy's friend to steal a Porsche. Turns out to be Mirage, even though Mirage isn't a Porsche. Mirage was fucking annoying. And it kind of makes sense because I realized who voiced him, fucking Pete Davidson. It was Marvel humor. Like, it was a lot of, like, I wouldn't call it Disney Marvel humor. That's what it was. It was like cringe pop culture reference. You gotta try to be funny every 5 minutes. Nothing can be serious. Fucking, I'm gonna get to Optimus. I'll eventually get to the, like, start going into the plot. I'm kind of just need a vent. Fucking what they did to Optimus was criminal. He looked cool, but what they did to him was fucking criminal. They fucking made him anti-human, even though it doesn't make sense. Optimus Prime is supposed to be like the polar opposite of Megatron. Megatron hates humans. Optimus is supposed to maybe not love them, like unconventionally, but he largely is like protect humans. He actually sees value. No. In this, he doesn't trust humans. It takes Noah and Optimus Primal showing him the way, because we see Optimus Primal, they've been living with this village in Peru, and fucking he has to teach him that humans are okay. I'm like, what the fuck? There's even a scene where he looks at Noah like, you taught me, you know, how to trust. Like, fuck you. Maybe not in those words, but that's what that fucking scene was. We gotta have Optimus Prime, who's like supposed to be one of the wisest characters, not just be unlikable. There's nothing wise about him in this. He has to learn from, I'm not fully against him learning from Optimus Primal, but I didn't need the whole anti-human thing, I have to learn from the fucking human fuck you, movie. Like, fuck you. Have Optimus Prime learn from some random dude you never fucking heard of. So, And then, yeah, that's the movie. So I'm going to go more into the plot, but I don't want to spend forever on the preamble. But I just had to get that off my chest. Oh, and the fucking soundtrack. I like a lot of the songs that were played, but this was clearly done because your movie sucks. So we have to carry the movie with actually good songs. It was 1994's greatest hits. That's what this fucking movie is. And I'm just sorry. I love Transformers, and I do like some of the songs on it. Like I said, I like Cream by Wu-Tang Clan. That doesn't belong in a Transformers movie. A lot of these songs don't. They don't. Like, and even if they were rock, to be honest, I'd have a problem with it just because your movie sucks and you can't carry it with good plot, so I'm just going to play a bunch of songs that actually people like to carry my movie. That's not how you do a soundtrack. A soundtrack should feel like it's part of the movie. The 80s Transformers soundtrack from the first one, like from the first cartoon movie, fit the movie. Even fucking Linkin Park and the Bayformers films fit. They played them at the right time in the movie. You know, in the end, and then it goes to credits. That's when he played a song. In this movie, it's just, let's play all these songs that you can just listen to on YouTube. I don't need to watch this fucking movie for 2 fucking hours to listen to songs. You just listen on YouTube for free. It was insane to me. Like, it was distracting the amount of songs. And I get it, it's 1994, and oh, he's brown, so let's have him listen to a lot of rap. Even though the songs don't actually fit the fucking scene, but anyway. It was ridiculous. Sorry about that. But it's insane to me. The fight scenes aren't even that great. Like, they're not like, oh, at least the fight scenes carry the movie. Not really. Maybe to some people, but for me, it didn't do anything. And it is also because how much they fucked up the lore. Why even have the Terracons there if you're only gonna fucking focus on one? The rest of the fucking I don't even remember the names of the other Terracons. The movie was that bad at, like, telling you the information. And it happened with the Autobots, too. Like, I feel like really only Optimus mattered and Mirage. Maybe RC, kind of, but she was just there. I feel like a lot of the other Transformers were just there. Wheeljack was just there, even though Wheeljack is actually pretty important. No, he's just there. On the Terracon side, like I said, Scourge is the only one that matters. And then the rest of the Terracons, besides the other two, they fight like a bunch of little, like, fucking, I don't even know what to call them, like, robots. That's pretty much it, little robots and, like, a scorpion transformer that we saw. Almost like from the first one, if you remember. Like, it was like, you're really doing this? Like, in the Maximals, none of them matter. They're just there. They don't explain why the fuck they're so big. The whole point of the Maximals is that it's supposed to blend in. How are you gonna blend in when fucking Ares is a fucking Thunderbird, basically, a giant fucking eagle? You got fucking King Kong, Ape Optimus Primal, fucking giant-ass cheetah. Like, what the fuck? The whole point is they're supposed to blend in. Ugh, this whole movie, man. I mean, I guess if you don't know Transformers, and if you just go in as a casual, or you don't know anything, I guess I could see enjoying it as like a dumb action movie, but you know what? You know what's funny? Same, not month, but relatively the same time. Fast X came out last month. That was dumb fun, but it was actually dumb fun, so I knew going in. But don't lead something on as Beast Wars, basically. That's what this is supposed to be, and it's not. The Predacons aren't even there. Why is Unicron in this fucking movie? Is he supposed to be like your Thanos? But you built him like shit. You didn't even do anything. And he doesn't fucking transform once. You could easily just rewrite the movie and just the Terracons attack Earth by themselves, and it would pretty much play out the fucking same. Anyway, let's get into the plot. Like I said, later tonight, I'll be reviewing Living Daylights. I'll actually be talking about something I like, so I won't be as angry. Because this movie was just such a waste of time. Why was this 2 hours? Why was this movie made? Is this supposed to be how you bring back the Transformers? Because this it's insane to me. They can't get a Transformers cinematic universe right. Transformers is one of the easiest IPs. You just have robots fight each other. That's it. Just do Cybertron. We have the effects to do that. Don't give me that, oh, we can't do an entire CGI. Get the fuck out of here. You did it with Aquaman. You can do it. You did an entire movie with blue people with Avatar. You can do it with fucking Transformers without humans. You can. is fucking possible. But they're so fucking scared. They feel like we have to have a human. No, you don't. Some of the best Transformer shit is without a fucking human character, to be honest. But they're fucking scared. Anyway. Let's fucking get started on this dog shit. So like I said, movie opens up, we see the Maximals fighting Scourge, who's working for Unicron, and 8-Blink tells Primal and the others to get out while he faces off against Scourge, who admits, like I said, Scourge start off pretty cool, but it's like, it's almost like he's only cool because the script told him to. When I notice things like that in a movie, like, because the script says, oh, you gotta be badass right now, but then the rest of the movie, you're treated like a joke. It happened with Kylo Ren in Force Awakens. Like, he starts off kind of cool, and later in the movie, he can't fight for shit. So yeah, Scourge kills 8-Blink, and they manage to get the key out in time before the Maximals, the Maximals get out before Scourge can get him. So we jump to 1994, and basically it's pretty much just human shit for like the first 30-40 minutes of the movie. Like, they laid it on thick, bro. You can't just have it be Noah can't get a job because he's a fuck up on his own, like a normal human. No. You have to put. We meet him and I guess his mom for like one scene. You don't see his mom literally again, ever. And then you meet his brother who for some reason can't get life insurance. It's like, bruh, why did you have to write it like that? Not all minorities are fucking like always everything's bad in life. Like, it's like this Hollywood's obsession because we got to make them look like victims, right? They can't just have a normal life, just have a normal job. No. It always has to be this extra shit because, we got to do the move victimhood shit. So you can't just have like a black person or a brown person who just has a normal life. No, we can't do that. So Noah can't get a job, not because he's a fuck up, which the movie kind of says he is. Basically, he's not a team player, and so he goes for an interview, and the guy says he won't interview him because he called his other, I think he works for like the military, and his officer or someone like said no, he's not a team player. So he actually gave him a legitimate reason why he didn't interview him. No, they had to fuck it up and add on the, I don't want someone like you fucking up what I'm ad-libbing because he didn't say fucking up, but like mess up what I made. From the boss who didn't hire him. Because, they had to lay it on thick, make it like, oh, I don't want to hire you because you're brown. Get out, movie. Like, it was so on the nose, man. I rolled my eyes at that scene. As soon as, like, they couldn't just not. And then, I gotta go off on this. Then he goes to see his friend, who I guess, because there's a scene earlier where he's walking with his brother, and his friend asks him, can you steal, because I guess first his friend steals shit. Like steals cars from rich people or whatever. And there's a line where he talks about, like, goes off about capitalism. Like, Hollywood, you're fucking capitalists, I was going to say, gamer. You fucks. You're a fucking capitalist. Stop with this champagne socialist garbage. Constantly throwing in lines. And this isn't the only movie. Like, in fucking Last of Us, not a movie, but the Last of Us show, there's a line about anti-capitalism. I didn't watch the movie. But Ant-Man 3, seen reviews, many people said, there's a line about anti-capitalism. Like, what the fuck? You're fucking capitalists. You're Hollywood. Literally. The whole point is to make money. Transformers is a franchise that's supposed to sell toys. The fucking point of it is to be capitalist. But no, you gotta throw in this constant it's weird to me. It's because it's like, are you trying to play to, like, the, I don't know, socialist audience? I don't fucking know. Like, what are you doing? Why did you have to throw that in there? Transformers literally is capitalism. The whole point is to sell fucking toys. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Transformers is is a bad IP and doesn't have actually good lore, so that it only relies on toys. But the truth is, it does. It's like with the Last Jedi, when they had an with Star Wars: The Last Jedi, they had an anti-capitalist thing. I'm like, you're fucking Star Wars. You're supposed to be selling like the whole point is to sell toys. How is that not? Anyway, I don't want to spend forever on this, but it's so cringy. Like whenever I see this shit, I'm like, why? You fucks are capitalists. Accept it. But anyway. So Noah decides to go with his friend because his interview didn't go well. So they go to steal a Porsche. Things start off fine, and I should have introduced Elena, who's like a researcher, who works at a museum. And her thing is, her boss never listens to her. So it's like, whatever. And then she finds this hawk thing that has like this language, Transformers language, basically. It ties into the key. So once she drills in it or does whatever I'll just say experiment shit, it triggers the key, triggers the light, and this is where we see Mirage. It turns out that the car that Noah stole is Mirage, who I found Mirage was annoying as fuck, man. He was obnoxious. Like when he was just a car, it was fine, but the moment he transformed, really, it was like the turn. And this is where we see the other Transformers Autobots show up. So they go to the source of the light, and Optimus confronts Mirage about bringing a human, and it was like from the jump. Why is Optimus like all pissy and just constantly bitching? When did Optimus Prime become a bitch who constantly bitches? Like, and when did this whole anti-human thing start? Because the last movie, Optimus was pretty much, he was the Optimus we know. So it was just like weird. Like, I gotta remember, I thought Bumblebee was like in the 80s. Or at least it felt like in the 80s anyway. So Optimus felt like Optimus, but why in this is he like all anti-human? And I don't trust him and all this shit. And he's like all ready to go back to Cybertron. So basically they need the key so they can go back to Cybertron. So Mirage convinces Noah to steal the key for him because he's a human. And while this happens, the Terracons arrive, whatever. Noah goes in and tries to steal it, and this is where we see they meet Elena. And while this happens, the Terracons attack. They send in their little bots, like these little 3-foot bots that are like, I wouldn't say human sized, but they're relatively. And it's like they don't explain what those are ever. They're just there. They're basically fodder. Like they're just the fodder because it should have been Predacons. Or if you wanted to do Terracons, you do Terracons and Predacons together. They team. Damn you, movie. It's like, it's not rocket science. It was right there. So the Terracons attack because they see that she has the key. So Noah has the key. They try to get out, and then this is where we get our first really big battle, besides the one in the opening scene. And it didn't do anything for me. Scourge did show how much of a badass he is, but it's like, once again, the script called for it, because there's a scene, I'll just say it, there's a scene later where he confronts Optimus and he gets his ass whooped. So it's like, you're all badass in the beginning, why are you all of a sudden, you're having a hard time beating up Optimus all of a sudden? It's like, because the script called for it, I gotta be shit now. That's not how you do a villain. You write a villain strong from the start, and then they have to persevere. Because in the beginning, the Terracons pretty much mollywop the Autobots. Like, clean. Even the other two lackeys, I'm just gonna call them lackeys for Scourge, because they don't even explain who they are. They really only have a couple bits of dialogue. Like, there's one that looks kind of like Starscream. That's all I got. And so they managed to get half of the key, because they kill Bumble. Because they basically pull if you see in Revenge of the Fallen, where Optimus died, they basically do that, but with Bumblebee. And I knew he wasn't dead. It was telegraphed like a motherfucker, because it's like, you just had a Bumblebee movie, you're not killing fucking Bumblebee, and this is technically, the way they tie it in, it could easily fit in with the Bay movies. They don't, like, have a thing where they discreetly say, we're not connected to the Bay movies. This could easily fit in. It's like, I knew the moment he died, they were gonna bring him back, and it just his death didn't do anything because I knew he wasn't dead. And so Optimus starts blaming Noah. Like, what the fuck? When did Optimus Prime? Why is he all like a whiny bitch? Real Optimus would not have blamed Noah. Granted, fuck Noah, because who gives a fuck about this character? But if real Optimus would not have done that. So this is where Air Razor shows up. Kind of explain. Air Razor's just there for, like I said, just there for exposition. She's just there to tell you what's going on with the key. Because Scourge gives part of the key to Unicron. And Unicron snaps at him because it turns out this is only half of the key. So Air Razor explains that they hit the other half. So they have to go to Peru. Because that's like, Elena is just there also just because she can figure out everything. Like, she figured out that the other part is basically in Peru. I don't know how she's able to read alien language, but okay. So Noah agrees to go. They go to Peru, and this is where we meet Wheeljack, who he's such a joke in this movie. He doesn't even matter. Why is he there? But also, while they're Scourge and his people also know the location. So they go find this basically secret tomb, and Noah and Elena go, and I guess Mirage, he can like separate himself, like, so he gives like a part of himself. It sounds weird, I know, but gives a part of himself to Noah, like this wrist fucking gauntlet thing that can shoot like a rocket. It's weird. So he gives them that. They go under. They find that the other half is missing. Then we get like I guess kind of a fight because Autobots are in disguise, and then we get kind of a chase scene. We get kind of a fight between Optimus and Scourge again, and Optimus, even in this fight, kind of takes it to Scourge. So it's like this, like, what happened? Scourge, you were botting Optimus a bit before. Why the fuck are you having trouble with him now? It's because the script called for it. It's so bad. It's like, what the fuck? So this is where we meet the Maximals, basically meet the Autobots. And before, I guess during this fight, Air Razor gets corrupted by Scourge, like throws this thing at him that basically can corrupt you slowly. And we find out that the Maximals actually hit the other half of the key with people. And this is supposed to be the start, basically, Optimus's lesson, like, yeah, Optimus Primal basically always trusted humans, and we work with each other. And it's like Optimus is like shocked. Like, what the fuck? Why would Optimus be shocked about that? He's like, Optimus is supposed to be wise. Not once in this movie do you feel like he's wise. In fucking Bumblebee, he felt wise. Like, he felt like Optimus. So it's like, what happened? Why did you write him like this? Like, he's like, they deliberately... did they do it because they gotta make Primal look good? Which... You know, you can do both, right? You can make Primal look good, but also still make Prime look good. You'd have to fucking ruin Prime. Optimus just was like, he was a douche this movie. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. Like, so, at this point, fucking Air Razor goes crazy, because she's full on corrupted by Scourge, and it forces Primal to kill her. Which, why was Air Razor? I mean, I don't even know why I'm asking. Air Razor's just there for exposition. Didn't even really have a fight scene besides with Primal. That doesn't make any sense. Like, she didn't really even have a fight with Scourge besides, like, I think when she arrived and kind of, like, did something at Scourge and he disappeared. But that was it. She didn't really have a fight scene. So they kill her. And, I mean, what else happened? I'm trying to, like, force myself to remember the movie. Basically, Noah decides to stay and fight. Oh, I didn't mention. There's a scene where I think this is before they came to Peru, that Noah has a scene with his brother, and his brother actually sees Mirage. which I'll admit that's like probably the only kind of alright scene in the movie. Like it's like that thing like where a kid sees like a fucking robot alive. Like I could see a kid having a reaction like that. It's believable. But that's like the only, I guess, okay scene. Everything else is just bad. It was like, you do not care about this Noah guy. He gave, if you remember Mortal Kombat 2021, I hope you don't, but if you do, that's what this felt like to me. This was giving me those vibes. He was giving me Cole vibes from that movie. Like, he doesn't even belong here. And he just was there. And so I'm just going to jump ahead. So Scourge has the other half of the thing, and they basically start the terraform sequence, like in a lot of comic book movies, right? Where they have the key or whatever fucking thing they need to start their plan. So then we basically can do the final battle. And the final battle just wasn't even that good. They played like another rap song in it. It just... So while Lena goes under to destroy the key, she has to go under like ground or whatever. Noah fights with Mirage. No. I think he was supposed to go with Mirage originally, but then Scourge sees him and picks up Noah, but then Scourge, Mirage gets himself basically seriously hurt, so he ends up forming with fucking Noah, and this is where we get that exosuit, which, I get it. Someone told me he was part of the cartoon, but at least they said in the cartoon it's not meant for him to fight it, but it's cringy. I don't come to Transformers to see humans fight the fucking Autobots. Not like that. I don't come to see the humans fight robots. That's not why I watch these movies. If you're gonna do that, why didn't you just have, like, I get it, Amy is a military guy, you could have even had him find, like, a jet or something. You know, at least that would have made sense. But no, we have to have him fight in the exosuit. Even throwing punches at Scourge. It's like, what the fuck? This just looks stupid. I was rolling my eyes at this point. I mean, I was rolling my eyes the whole movie, but at this point, really, I was just done. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Why am I watching a human try to fight a Transformer? Like, literally fight. It'd be one thing if he just did that and then he went with Elena and then maybe he used that Echo suit to fight those little bots. I wouldn't have minded. I still would have think the exosuit would have been kind of cringy. But at least if he was just using that suit to fight those little robot things, that would have made more sense. But no, they didn't do that. They had him, like, fight, like, fucking Scourge. And then Unicron he starts showing up through the portal, but he's still in planet. You don't even really get to see this whole planet form either. You kind of see it. And then all Unicron really does is he just sends a bunch of those little bots. That's it. It was so shit. It was... Bumblebee comes back, which is just like... so fucking predictable. He comes back because he was powered by, like, they have a thing of Energon. Which basically powered him up because of, like, I think even the movie explains, like, it needs, like, a certain shock and it happens and it wakes them up, so whatever. And he comes back all badass because the plot says so. Optimus bodies Scourge. Like, at this point, like, he kicked Scourge's ass. It was like, what happened? So they win the day. Optimus decides he plans on sacrificing himself to close the key, which unfortunately, he causes, like, them to, things start flying up and shit into orbit. Then Optimus plans to sacrifice himself, but Primal and Noah, and they have to do this moment, like, no, together, like, fuck off. So, Noah basically, I guess this is at this point Optimus decides to stay on Earth. This is, like, probably the only scene where you kind of get Optimus, and it's even cringy, because he has to give props to this Noah guy, like, basically you taught him in Primal. Which is like, why? That's not Optimus. He doesn't need to learn shit. Not like that. It was bad, man. Elena becomes, like, a famous scientist, whatever the fuck. Noah gets a job, and I guess the credits scene showed that Mirage is still alive. Yippee. This movie was so bad. The lore was... The Maximals were wasted. If you really like Beast Wars, if you're a Beast Wars person, like, you really like it, you're gonna hate this movie. It's not boring, but the action isn't that great. Optimus isn't Optimus. Fucking the Terracons were wasted in the sense of Scourge is the only one that got a name, or at least the one name that you can remember. The other two were just there. Unicron was pointless, literally. Like, there was no point of him. He didn't do anything. Besides the scenes you see in the trailer, doesn't do anything new. You don't even see him, like, full-on planet. Like, at least if we could have gotten a visual of that, that would have been kind of cool. Like, him in his planet form, but you don't see it. You just see, like, the undersides. The Maximals kind of got the same treatment. Like, Rhinox or Cheetor don't matter. Air Razor's just there for exposition. And then she dies. And then Primal, like, the only one that really got the story. I guess he was fine, but what we should have got the fact there was no Predacons, we could have got Primal versus T-Rex and Megatron. No, we can't have that. The music sucked, and the score, there were points where they actually did play a score. It was generic stock music. It's what it felt like to me. It was like stock music or just 90s rap that you can just listen to on YouTube. You don't need to watch. It was 1994's greatest hits. You can watch that on YouTube. You don't need to watch this movie for that. Noah's a pointless character. Literally, this whole movie is pointless. It was a giant waste of time. I'm kind of mad that I watched it, but you know what? I had fun roasting it. Because they really did the Beast dirty in general. I would have liked a real Beast Wars movie, where the Beasts are actually, the size makes sense. Probably just the Beasts by themselves. It makes no sense really having them interact with the G1 Transformers at all, but if you're gonna do that, at least do Optimus right. Optimus is the face of the franchise, and you did him dirty. He was done way better in the Bay films, I'm gonna say it. Besides maybe The Last Night. But at least Optimus still... Is it cool hearing Peter Weller? Yeah, he still has the voice, but it's still like... There's no... That's just member berries to me. When you do that, but he's doing shit, like the role still sucks, it doesn't matter if you have... He still has that voice. Like, no. Peter Cullen... I said Weller, Jesus fucking Christ. Peter Cullen has the voice still, like, that's cool, but it doesn't do anything for me. You know why? Because he ended up still sucking. It's like, you could have Darth Vader in a movie and it looked cool, but if the movie still sucks and his character still sucks, it doesn't matter. And that's how I felt here. Noah, fuck Noah. Fuck Elena. They were all just there just for plot. You wasted the Terracons. I feel like all the Transformers were really wasted. But again, why was Unicron in this movie? Was he supposed to be like your Thanos? You could have done that better. You could have still just did it that he worked by himself and have it to where it should have been Predacons. That's the easiest tweak to this movie. Well, couple tweaks. You take Unicron out of the fucking movie and just have it be the Predacons. That's it. Or if you fucking have to, you can do Predacons and Terracons. So you can actually have a team of bad guys. Because the bad guys was pretty much the Scourge and the other two, and then a bunch of little robots. And like a scorpion-looking one. That's it. There is no, like... You had like a team of the good guys had a team, in a sense, because there were Terracons, Autobots and Maximals. If you were gonna you should have just did Predacons and Terracons, even them teaming up. Maybe you start off with the Predacons and the Terracons show up. Like, Hollywood. Fucking hell. Like, that only took me 2 minutes to think of that. Like, come on. You couldn't come up with something better than this? Out of 10, I guess a 4. There were some cool visuals. That's probably the only positive I have. But everything else, this movie is an absolute piece of trash. I'm never going to see it again. I don't think I'm ever going to watch live-action Transformers again. Unless it's like they straight up say it's a reboot. Not even just with the base stuff. Just not tied with this either. I kind of just... Even with Bumblebee. And I like that movie. But just... It's kind of like a new continuity. That'd be like the only way you'd bring it back. Because as of now, if we're just getting these movies that are somewhat tied to the Bay movie, and that's not even really my problem with it. Even though I despise The Last Night. This is almost as bad. I would say this is my second worst. I would watch Age of Extinction before I watch this again. Because at least Mark Wahlberg had some decent scenes. So, but yeah, this movie was an absolute piece of shit. But anyway, now onto a movie I actually potentially will like, with Living Daylights. I think I will like it. I have seen it, I just haven't seen it in a long time. So I'll be watching that tonight. We'll get started on Timothy Dalton Bond movies. Can't wait to do it. Actually talk about something I like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have fun with rant videos, but I do prefer talk about shit I like. So, because man, this movie was bad. So, we're actually going to talk about something I like now with Living Daylights. I'll be doing that later. Tomorrow, can't wait to start Starship Troopers. I'll be doing all 3 movies. I do not remember the sequels. I remember only the first one. I think I remember like a part of one of the sequels. I don't remember which one, but anyway, I'm going to cheers and peace out. But as usual, video tonight, another video tonight, but that's about it. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Oh, before, fuck this video.